Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, 29th day of July. Here we go. So today we're going to do part two and explain to you what the upcoming Tu B'Av, 15th of Av holiday is on this coming Friday. It's the 15th of the month of Av. And it is called Tu B'Av as a kind of nickname, and we don't say Tachanun on that day. There are many reasons, and we gave you one yesterday. Here are two more today. The rule was originally when the Jewish people inherited the lands inside of Israel, when they went into Israel, that the whole land of Israel was divided up according to Shvatim, according to tribes, so that all the people from the Shevet of Dan would be in like one certain spot with their land, and the people of Yehuda and Binyamin were actually very near to where the Beis Hamikdash was, and the land was divided up accordingly. And here's where it got kind of technically interesting. If it ever happened that a lady inherited some land from her father. So let's say she's from the Shevet of Shimon, and she inherits a chunk of land from her father, and now she wants to marry someone from the Shevet of Gad. So what's going to happen is when she marries out into it's a Jew, but when she marries out into another Shevet, into another tribe, what's going to happen is that that land, which was originally belonging to the Shevet of Shimon, will now be owned by her husband in marriage to her, and he's from a different Shevet, so it would lead to all kinds of confusion, and therefore, because of situations like that, they were not allowed to marry from Shevet to Shevet, from tribe to tribe, to stop this kind of land transfer from happening, and it made for quite a difficulty because it constricted everybody's ability to marry whoever it was that they felt was an appropriate marriage, because they had to follow up and check, wait, what land do you own? What Shevet is he from? What's going to happen to your land? So years later, finally, this law was lifted, and when it was lifted, then people were able to marry much more freely, and it was lifted on Tu B'Av on the 15th of Av, and that made it another reason for it being a very festive day. Now, here's another reason, and that was, there was a very, very sad division in the kingdom of Israel that happened after the passing of Shlomo HaMelech, of King Solomon. What happened was, up to that point, he had been the sole king of Israel, and he had ruled over all of the tribes together, but then, after his passing, unfortunately, the northern kingdom split away with 10 tribes, and just the tribes of Yehuda and Binyamin remained around the area of the Beis Hamikdash. The leader of those 10 breakaway tribes was Yeravam ben Nevat, and he made a kind of system whereby the Jews of his northern kingdom were not allowed, there were roadblocks blocking them from going to Yerushalayim, to the place where all Jews were supposed to go 3 times a year for the Jewish holidays. And that was a terrible thing, that Jews were being blocked from a major piece of their religion, but that's what he had instituted for the northern kingdom. Finally, years and years later, they managed to lift this decree that long after the passing of Yeravam ben Nevat, and Jews from the north were again free to make their way to the proper way that they were supposed to be in Yerushalayim for the 3 holidays each year, to bring their sacrifices. And when that was lifted, it was lifted on the 15th of Av, and that's another reason for why it has become such a festive day. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.